Good evening. It's wonderful to be back with you again, isn't it, Ronnie?
Indeed it is. And in a packed programme tonight, we shall be talking to the Labour MP who's been putting turf in his underpants in the hope of getting grassroots support.
And we'll be hearing of a new lager for easygoing girls, which claims to refresh the parts that anyone can reach.
And we'll be revealing what civil servants have for lunch about 4.5 hours.
And there was bad news this morning for relatives, neighbours and friends at the reading of the will of J. Septimus Cadge, Britain's worst borrower. He left everything he owed to charity.
Whilst at Swizzlewick, Yorkshire, this afternoon, the Lady Mayoress unveiled a large bust outside the town hall when she caught her blouse in the car door handle.
Grimsrail today opened their first booking office come betting shop. This means you can buy a ticket and put a bet on whether or not there'll be a driver for your train.
This afternoon, thieves broke into the luxury home of Rasmus Backstop, the Budgerigar cage millionaire. He claims they totally cleaned him out.
Finally, the Soho girls' pay negotiations took a new turn today, with the girls demanding more money on the table. A lot more money on the floor and danger money on the chandelier.
But now a sketch featuring Mr. Ronnie Corbett, a man who freely admits that sex manuals have improved his love life. He stands on them. Come in, come in.
Good morning, Mr. Gummidge. Good
Morning.
Good morning. I understand you wanted to see me.
Yes, I do, Geoffrey. Lad, take a seat, will you, love?
Yes, Mr. Gummidge.
Now, listen, Geoffrey, you've turned out some very nice words for greetings cards in the past 5 years that you've been with Gummidge's.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gummidge. I do try my best, you
I know you do, Geoffrey, I know you do, which makes it all the more surprising that you suddenly come up with rubbish like this.
Rubbish? What sort of rubbish?
The sort of rubbish that's here on my desk, Geoffrey, lad. I mean, listen to this one here. To a Valentine. Roses are red, violets are blue. I bet you look sweet when you're sat on the loo. It is one of yours, isn't it, Geoffrey?
It is one of mine, yes. I'm not very good at Valentine cards.
No, well, it's not only the Valentine card, Geoffrey. I mean, here is a get well soon. Look at this one here. Your illness to your husband has made me aware of how our love has lasted. Even though you go to the pub every night and come home 3 parts plastered. It's just not good enough, Geoffrey, is it?
No, it's not, Mr. Gummidge. No, I'm very sorry about
Well, it's no good being sorry, Mr. Gummidge, is it? I mean, I've got here a card for a daughter of 18. Now, listen to this. Happy birthday, daughter. You're 18. We think you've turned out swell. You're old enough now to have a fag. And a bit of how's your father as well. It's hardly the sort of thing that a loving parent would want to send to her 18-year-old daughter, is it, Geoffrey?
No, Mr. Gummidge, no. I'm quite pleased with my to a sweetheart card.
Well, let's have a look at it. I've not yet had the benefit. Come on, let's have it over here. Thank you very much. Oh, you can keep your Debs and your Dolly Birds. You can keep your punks and your rockers. Give me someone like you, someone faithful and true, with black leather boots and big... Oh. Words just fail me, Geoffrey. They just fail me just.
Are you going to give me the sack then, Mr. Gummidge?
Well, I can see no alternative, can I?
No,
Unless, what is that one in your hand by there?
Oh, Mr. Gummidge, I don't think you'd like this. If you didn't like those, you're certainly not going to like this.
Well, give us the benefit of the doubt, lad. Read it out to us, please.
All right, Mr. Gummidge. Get it open here. To a sweet and gracious lady, so gentle and generous and kind, with a heart of pure gold filled with loving, and a face like a monkey's behind.
It's fantastic, that one.
Fantastic?
Fantastic, it's just what I'm looking for the new mother-in-law range. Oh, that's lovely. I shan't have to give you your cards after all. Here you are.
Good evening. Many of you will remember me. My name is Proctor Podgersmith of the Loyal Society for the Prevention of Mispronunciation. For people who can't say their worms correctly. I last spoke to you in the television 3 or 4 queers ago. I expect a number of you will dismember my face. On that occlusion, I appeal to you from the bottom of my tart to spare a thought for those unfortunate inky diddlers, ordinary people like my elf who just can't steam to spray their worms correctly. And it's not very runny, I can tell you. Particularly when you're trying to lay very difficult birds like Llanfairpwll, Gwyngen, Golgerioff, Windrob, Will, Llantysilio, Gogogog. There you are, you see, I was trying to say Cardiff. Now, the society needs money. Your Minnie. That's why I've been asked by the margarine detector here at the PVC to drip in the studio tonight and do a special programme for the tremblers of the society, so that you, the average gluer, will take potty on us and send us large accounts of mash and get the dick out of a nasty pre-fundament. Now, I'm going to bleed you a nice pimple story out of this boob here that every bicky can understand. It's called Little Dead Riding Hoof. Once upon a tomb, there was a kitty young girl whose name was Little Dead Riding Hoof. She lived in an old blouse by the river, in the spade of the shedding twistnut cheese. Both her mummy and Doddy were deaf and gone, and she was an orphan. So she had to look after her little brothel and 3 young shites. One day, on a fine spring morning in early apricot, Red Rising Flood decided it would be a goofy idea to visit her grandmother. So, having packed her gasket with lots of rude things to tweet, Blambury Jack, homemade ample flies, Sam Handridges, she shot off for her granny's little scratch cottage, deep doop in the florists. But unknown to Little Bed Writhing Nude, a nasty wicker wolf had already raptured her granny, locked her up in the coal smeller, and taken her place in bed between the shorts underneath the slider down. Well, when Little Bride Wedding Hood found her pork old granny had grown so big, she was bacon by surprise. Greenie, what bug eyes you had, she said. All the batter to seal with you, Fry the Rolf. And Groany, what big beers you have. All the bitter to heap you with, Bart the Wolf. And Groiny, what enormous moth you have. All the butter to wobble you up, Spread the Wolf. And so Sprain jumped up from the bed like a bat out of Hull. Duster, midget, said Little Red Riding Hood. You're not my old tranny at all, you're the Wolfid Wick. As she tried to scrape through the bedroom window, the wacky Welf grabbed hold of both her charms. Shave me, she crewed. But at that precise motel, in crushed the yokel woodnutter, carrying a big shopper over his shoulder. Take your flans off that grill and leave her a loafy clouded or I'll slice off your bread. So the wicked dwarf ran away and the woodnutter picked her up in his string hairy rams and curried her in his house for tea. Little Bread Pudding Club put the kettle on the hob, and her brittle old cranny toyed jeers of wet. And she said to them, I hope you both make love happily over afters. That is the friend of my hairy Tory. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Dixon.
It's really you, it's me. 'Cause 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 it's really you, it's
The year is 2012. In an England which has now been entirely taken over by women, where women are the breadwinners and the decision-makers, and where men are completely subjugated, forced to wear dresses and given feminine names, our story concerns two men, Janet and Betty. These two downtrodden specimens are on the run, wanted for crimes against the state by the dreaded secret police. They have decided to go into hiding, but not before they steal their own identity papers from police headquarters, a building once known as the Tower of London, now renamed Barbara Castle. Janet, an employee at the castle, runs over his daring plan with Betty, outside the grey walls of the grim fortress.
Now, as soon as I get inside, I'll go to the lavatory.
Pardon?
The lavatory. The window looks out onto the street. That's it up there.
Oh, yes, yes.
I'll stick my pass out of the window.
You do what?
My pass, I'll stick it out of the window and you grab it.
No, I'm sorry, I can't hear a damn thing with this cotton wool. I'll have to take it out.
Well, what's it there for?
But it's those cannons on the parapet that go off every hour on the hour. I thought I'd take a bit of precaution, that's all.
Well, it's part of the plan. You'll have to get used to the cannons. Now, you take my pass, change the photo, get in with the pass. I'll be waiting outside with the bucket.
Right. Good luck, Janet, old chap.
How much, dearie? You're rattling your keys. How much?
How dare you, madam? I'm not a common streetwalker.
Well, what's you rattling your keys for, then?
I happen to have the palsy.
Oh, beg pardon, I'm sure.
Why have you got two buckets?
Double time Sundays.
Well, get on with it.
Oh, damn.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Allow me.
Oh, thank you very much. Sorry, it's these damn shoes. I'm awfully sorry. I'm so clumsy. I'm awfully sorry. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Don't worry, my dear. I'll be out of your way in no time at all. Yeah, that's all right. I'll leave the rest. It's only money, isn't it? I've got piles. Which reminds me, I wouldn't sit there too long on that cold paper. There's too many people about for my liking.
The sooner we get in that records office, the better. We've got to find a cleaning trolley from somewhere. Now, come on. This'll do.
Where the hell do you think you're going with my trolley car ride?
Oh, Betty, this is Deirdre. Deirdre Collingwood. This is Betty Chalmers. Who's new here?
You don't look very new to me. What's your game, you rat?
Now, don't start bullying, Deirdre.
Who's going to stop me? Your friend Betty? What? You going to save your little friend, eh?
Well, and about that, he was... Does he ever have got something?
Got what?
Boot oil.
What's boot oil?
Boot...
It's a new directive, you see. I mean, if an officer comes to you and says she's got squeaky shoes and you haven't got it, you're for it.
Ooh, oil?
What do you mean? Have you got any then?
Oh, I don't know nothing about it.
Deirdre, you better get up the supply chain and get yourself some.
Right, I will.
Don't forget to get both sorts.
No?
Black and brown. Black and blue if we're still here when he gets back. Right, it's 4 minutes to 10. At 10 o'clock, the gun fires 3 times at 15-second intervals. Now, you have got to use these 3 bangs to cover any noise you might make.
What I need is a machine gun to cover the noise of my knees knocking.
Let's get through. All right. Morning, ma'am. Just a little dust round. Betty here's come to help me. Lovely day. I'll empty this for you. That's it. It's all tidied up. On the week. Yes. Okay, thank you. There we are. Sorry about the late. I've just only I was I had to tidy up the other yes, go on. You. Yes, yes. Good ever such a start. Sorry about that.
You have to make all that noise. The guns go off every day.
I know. I'm sorry. It's my nerves, you know. I can't bear noise of any sort. I once joined the silent order of a monastery. I had to leave.
Why?
They were such noisy eaters. Dear. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that the last one?
Yes, only 3.
Oh, thank heavens for that. I'm going to have to ask you to stand up, I'm afraid. I want to just dust your chair.
What?
It's a new directive. All chairs have to be dusted. Well, I'll be off then. All finished round there, Betty? Oh, yes. All nice and tidy. Off we go then. Don't get up. Bye. Bye.
As soon as she sees that mess, she'll be after us.
No, she won't. I stuck her trousers to the chair.
Look out. Look out.
Oh, quick. My bucket's on fire. It's a straight cigarette end. Help! Help! It's forbidden to impersonate women now, you know. Danaru's still locked up in here somewhere. a nose to a trolley.
How did you know that?
We know everything.
It's because we eat so much beef, you see. You're a stupid nitwit. You set me up. Bend over. Hey there.
We must find them. They must not be allowed to escape.
But they burned their identity papers. We have no photographs to go on.
Silence. One is short, the other is fat. They won't get far. They must be got rid of. Liquidized.
Don't you mean liquidated?
No. We have a new method.
What will happen to our heroes, Janet and Betty? Have they burnt their boats as well as their papers? Have they jumped out of the frying pan into the liquidizer? Find out next week in another excruciating episode of The Worm That Turned.
Here, you know that woman who lives over the back of Tompkins?
Oh, well, yeah. She got a bright pink mini.
Who do you know?
Well, I seen her in it.
Oh.
Why, what about her?
Eh?
I say, what about her?
Oh. Well, old Jack says she's always been on at her husband to buy her a Jaguar.
Well?
Well, he did. And it ate her.
Evening. Sanders. Rodney Sanders. I'm your roommate tonight.
Oh, Snetterton, P.J. Percy.
Yes, I know. I know what you're looking at. Terrible colour, isn't it?
Well, it's unusual.
Yeah. It's one of the two drawbacks of my invention, you see. Hair restorer. Marvellous stuff, but it does turn your hair pink. What's your invention?
Oh, this, aerosol. Makes you invisible.
No.
Yes, yes. Trouble is, it only lasts 30 seconds at the moment. That's one of its two drawbacks, but I'm very pleased. It's pretty amazing.
Well, it's fantastic, fantastic. Oh, time for another dose of this. Excuse me.
Sorry, dose? What do you mean? You actually drink it?
Oh, yes. It tastes rather like sherry, yes. I say, do me a favour. I'm dying to spend a penny. Could you pour me out a dose, please? A tumbler full of that and a teaspoonful of water.
Yes.
I won't be a moment.
Teaspoon of water.
That's better. Thank you very much. Oh, thanks. Cheers. Oh, God, that was a strong one. You sure you only put a teaspoon in there?
No, you said a tumbler of the stuff, teaspoon of water. You said.
Oh, I don't suppose it'll matter. Look, I'm dying to see your invention. Come on.
Oh, right. So, I know what I'll do.
What?
Sorry. I'll call the chambermaid,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you like it.
yeah.
And I'll spray all over.
Yeah, yes.
You disappear, yes. And then you can creep up behind her and surprise her.
Right, where do you want?
Stay where you are. Yes, right where you are. Then I'll be back here. It's about 5 or 6 paces. Here we go, then. Here we go. You going? You going? You're gone. You're gone, absolutely. Come on, yeah, check. Look in the mirror. Okay.
You rang, sir?
Yes, can you tell me what's on the room service menu?
Well, sir, if you fancy a little... What? Well, you can either... Oh! Dear. I feel most peculiar, sir. I think I'd better go...
Just in time. You'll be fading back any second. Shut the door, that's a good job. What a great joke! What about your hair?
What? What's it done? Oh, my God, that's the overdose I've just taken. Never mind. I always get a haircut. Come on, let's have a go at that. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Fantastic. Where are you? Where are you?
Anyone around?
Yes?
Is this the man, sir?
No, that's not him. This was a little chap with ordinary coloured hair.
This girl said she felt something in this room.
Oh, really? Oh, probably static electricity, I should think. Yes, you get it with nylon carpet, you know.
Ridiculous. You can't get static electricity in your... No!
Oh, you're as bad as the others.
I see. That's the most marvellous invention I've ever seen. You're sure to win the prize.
Oh, no. What about you? It's like hairstyle. I've never seen a hairstyle like it. You mentioned 2 drawbacks, like mine has 2 drawbacks. What was your second one?
Well, it weakens the roots of the hair, you see. If you get a sudden shock, it could all fall out.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah. What was your other drawback?
Well, I tell you what it is. As I spray on the stuff, you see, the molecules in my body reach a highly volatile state. So if I use it too much, I could explode.
Oh, dear. But how much is too much?
Well, I've no idea. I mean, I might have been doing it too much already. I mean, there just comes a point, I suppose. Thank you very much. Thank you. Here's a very funny joke, which I picked up cheap the other Friday at our local jumble sale. And no, but incidentally, at various points during this story, a man over there, this corner here, will be holding up a big card with the word laugh on it. Just over there, Take no notice of him. He's got laryngitis. Actually, now I come to think of it, it was Thursday I went to this jumble sale because Friday was the 13th, and I never go out on Friday the 13th because I'm very superstitious. Ever since the disaster that occurred the last time I walked under a ladder, I clean forgot the budgie was still up it. My wife warned me, she said, on your own head be it. She was right. She can talk. I suppose that's pretty obvious, otherwise she wouldn't have said on your own head be it. Anyway, she was a little tense this day and wanted to be left alone. So she said, why don't you take the kids down to the vicar's jumble sale? She said, you never know, they might fetch a few quid. So there I am, in this church hall, perusing the oddments and looking through old magazines. Oh, by the way, tonight I am determined not to ramble on at any price. I've already had 2 public warnings. The high echelons of the BBC, they keep a very close watch on this show. This lunchtime, I was up in the BBC canteen, carbon dating a piece of burnt toast. Well, that's an exaggeration. The service up there is incredibly slow. Would you believe the meals take so long now that they have to put mothballs in jacket potatoes? Sounds revolting, I know, but it does improve the flavour. So, on quickly to this cheap joke that I am going to tell, the one I bought in the jumble sale, which concerns this chap who goes to the doctors. He goes to the doctors. I was at the doctors the other day about this cold I've got. I've got this cold, I can't get rid of it. Had it since I was 11. And so I went to see the doctor the other day with my nose. Well, actually, I saw him with my eyes, but... well, I mean, I had my nose with me. And... well, it's best to carry most things. Anyway, so this, you never know. This chap goes to the doctor. He said, I feel a bit rough. Or so the wife tells me. And I am rather worried. I am losing a lot of weight. Well, the doctor has him undressed. Rather a disturbing sight. Because he's incredibly thin, this chap. With a very, very hairy chest. With his shirt off, he looked like a toothbrush. The doctor examined him thoroughly with the telescope. I forgot to tell you, he was very shy. He said, in my opinion, you are overworking. What you need is a complete break, get away from crowds, get away from excitement. Go and see Ronnie Corbett in Cabaret. Little plug for my Cabaret act, which, to be honest, is going through a bad patch. These days, I do an hour and a half, then the audience select a foreman and go away and consider the verdict. Sometimes, if it's going really well, I invite 1 or 2 members of the audience up and do a card trick. Sometimes I invite them all up and we have a game of bridge. Anyway, off goes this chap, home to his wife. Now, I must point out at this is not the happiest of marriages. The truth is, they're both total opposites. He's a man and she's a woman. He's thin and she's a little bit on the tubby side. So he goes home, this chap, and there is his wife in the front room, ironing the cat. She's very house-proud. She's the sort of woman who puts a hairnet on a peach. And he tells her what the doctor has said. He said, there is only one thing for it, a holiday. About time, too, says the wife. I haven't had a decent holiday in years. How can you say that, he riposts. What about that place we went to last year? Sand everywhere, temperature up in the 90s. Dark-skinned natives toiling at the local crafts. She said, I'm sorry, but Bradford Cement Works isn't my idea. He said, well, never mind. He said, I have been making inquiries and I've fixed up to spend a fantastic summer this year in Morocco. She said, that sounds terrific. I can't wait to see what it all looks like. He said, well, you won't have to wait long. He said, I'll send you a postcard. She said, You miserly old skinflint. You don't mean you're going there without me? He said, well, look, dearest treasure of my heart, this holiday wouldn't suit you at all, he said, because I have found a somewhat naughty Arab quarter where apparently the husbands have so many girls in their harems, they actually pay gentlemen £7 a tide to provide a night of passion for one of their wives. His wife said, well, she said, right, in that case, I am definitely coming with you. He said, why? She said, well, I can't wait to see how you get by on 14 quid a month.
That's our favorite area, land of the dairy cheese,
Land of the hairy knees.
in the open area, that's where the birds and bees day. October is red with the fruit from the vine, the swine by the glass, and beer by the stein.
And when we've had 8, then it's time to say 9.
Very sober in October. Oh, the Bavaria, that's our favorite area, land of the waving boughs.
End of the raving Faust.
That's our favorite area. That's where the goats and cows all day. October is cold with the grapes on the bunch. We dine by the Rhine with a breeze as we munch.
In Mainz we get Heinz and the wind after lunch.
You're not very sober in October.
Und Bavaria,
That's our favorite area. Land of the snowy peaks, short shorts and glowing cheeks. Bavaria, in the open area. That's where you get the best. Day. When I hear the cuckoo sing, when I hear the calves go moo, when I hear the cowbells ring, then I sink mein Frau of you.
oh, the Matterhorn is wide, and the Jungfrau's big and blue. When I see them side by side, then my Liebchen, mein Gott, is you.
In Heidelberg I love you in the rain, and I can't forget how you look so wet. Back in Heidelberg we sipped on pink champagne, and you quaffed, and you laughed, and your dentures went down the drain.
In autumn time we love to dance. 1, 2, knees up.
Melo Papa und German Bands, 2, 3, sie's ab.
Yeah, Lederhosen, pants, serves are breezer. Our shorts are leather and quite unique. They're so antique, they crack and creak.
We're having them sold and healed next week. This sits in the pits where we sit.
Up in the Alps for winter sports, out of doors and out of sorts, wearing my fur-lined thermal shorts, skiing away with a swish. Fell in a snowdrift, legs astride, 2 big guides, my problem spied. Each took a leg and one of them cried, why don't we make a wish?
Zooming down the mountain pass, just can't ease up. The snow and ice are smooth as glass, one big freeze up. I tumble down a small crevasse, legs and skis up. I'm frozen stiff as a busted peg. Up stumps a dog with a brandy keg. It raised my hoops till it raised its leg. I don't go along.
Hello.
Hello.
The echo is saying twice, hello. That wasn't very nice. Yoo-hoo.
You
The echo is very bright. Yo-ho. Are you looking for a fight? The echo is very true. Hi-ho. Yes, I've had the curry too. The echo is like a bell. Bye-bye. And you're one of them as well.
And you!
In a little beer garden, what can't be missed?
A blonde and a beer and a banger.
When the fun is starting, what's top of our list?
A blonde and a beer and a banger. Ah, you're wanting something hot, Margarita cried. I thought she meant the mustard, so no, I replied.
Guess who ended up with a bit on the side?
And I got the beer and the banger.
a stamp and cheer, full of fun and full of beer. German dancers beaming bright, not the sauerkraut inside. Girls of beauty, bangs a drum, clap your hands and slap your chum. Fritz's partner went too far, kicked him in the Oompa-Pa. Heide the Silver Schmidt, what the dancer, what the twit. See the way he steps his toes, 10 of these. And what a soul. Wearing violets in his hat. He's amazing, he's a brat. Wearing glasses, that's the price of Oompa-Pa and Edelweiss. German dancers smiling big, always turns their other cheek. Look at poor old Rudy Wild, geriatric, Jerry Bill. Old Fritz is on his back, Betty's nackwurst lost his knack. German dancers clap and shout, German dancers all clap down. Bavaria, land of Bavaria, land of cheeriness, land of the very best. Bavaria, in the open area, that's where you get the best. You know where you're there.
Well, that seems to be about all we have time for, but before we go, a few late items of news. In the little-known African state of Umpopaland, doctors have appealed for help after running out of leeches. Britain is to airlift in 200 estate agents.
Mr. Wally Turnham has again won the most amorous Milkman of the Year award. Apparently he's so popular with his lady customers that he started to leave notes on their doorstep saying, "None today, thank you."
A hold-up at the wages office of a timber yard was foiled today by a workman with a chainsaw. Police are looking for a sawn-off man with a shotgun.
The president of the Society of People Who Like Eating Rotten Food said today that their annual picnic had been a tremendous success with everything going off really well.
Finally, a sport. And in tonight's 3A's high jump finals at Wembley, Graham Tong of Basildon didn't jump high enough, hit the bar and was eliminated. Tom Bassett jumped too high, hit an overhead cable and was illuminated.
In next week's programme, we'll be talking to the man who crossed a chicken with a Ouija board and got a chicken that gets in touch with the other side of the road.
Then we'll be hearing of the impact of silicone treatments in Nurseryland when we talk to not-so-little Bo Peep, Far From Little Miss Muffet and Enormous Jack Horner.
Till then, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Good night.